Us to an albino eastern screech owl. Bob Gress is here with the Great Plains Nature Center. Bob, I got to tell you, this is probably one of the prettiest animals that we've ever had on the show. So let's talk about what makes this guy unique. It's an eastern screech owl, but obviously the coloring is, we don't see this very often.
We don't see it very often, and in the wild, albino characteristics probably show up approximately 1 out of every 10,000.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And those are just partial albinos, where you might see a single feather or a partial coloring where it's white. A bird that is a totally albino like this is much rarer and rarely show up. And when they do show up in nature, they don't usually last very long. They don't live very long. And so when we get an opportunity to see an albino bird like this, we really are looking at something that's very unusual and very rare.
And this was a rescue animal for you. You talked about how albinos in nature just don't tend to live very long. Why is that?
Well, they have a bunch of problems. White feathers, for the most part, are weaker feathers. They tatter. They don't wear as well. Their eyesight is typically poorer. Albinos typically have red eyes.
Right.
There's no pigmentation in the eyes either. And then the other problem with a predator like this is that they cannot remain hidden from prey. They're easily seen.
Sure.
And for a little bird like this, which is also eaten by bigger birds like great horned owls, barred owls, and hawks, other things will catch and eat him typically before he ever gets old enough to survive. If he does survive, chances of him finding a mate are very remote because they look so odd and so different. They're not accepted by mates, and they're not even very well accepted by parents. Parents don't take care of them very well.
So even animals look for the aesthetics.
Apparently,
kind of like
correct. Yeah.
He's studying me pretty close, Bob. Is he eating today, or?
Well, he probably hasn't eaten, but you're a little large for him, probably.
Okay, that's probably safe. Tell me more about how this one came to be with you guys, because it's kind of an interesting story. You said you've had him for 5, 6 years?
7 years, maybe even a little bit longer than that. He was actually from this area on the day that he fledged, which means the day he left the nest.
Sure.
He fluttered to the ground and a cat pounced on him instantly, telling us why predators find him so quickly. The homeowner quickly rescued him, and he's lived his life essentially in a cage display in the lobby of the Great Plains Nature Center. Anybody that comes into our lobby has probably seen albino screech owl.
Great
and
name,
so he
by the
was
way.
lucky. He probably would have died if he had not